The ecological role of soil food web organisms that function as plant symbionts and contribute to organic residue decomposition and nitrogen mineralization is already well known. Okay, so we already discussed that in the previous videos. So therefore, here in this video I want to explain on the ability of certain organisms in the soil that can be function as biocontrol, especially for diseases. Before we start, a quick question: what is a pathogen? So any organism that interferes with another organism's metabolic processes in a manner that weakens the host and causes disease is called a pathogen. Pathogenic soil viruses, bacteria, fungi, protists, and nematodes are responsible for many economically important diseases affecting crops and natural vegetation. So therefore, biocontrol in the perspective of soil ecology and management is the ability of certain biota to inhibit or suppress soil-borne parasites and pathogens that infect plant roots and can cause disease. So using this biological interaction, this is a potential actually to reduce disease outbreaks by reducing pathogen populations to low and manageable levels. So pay attention here, the keyword is reducing. Okay, the keyword here is reducing. So the occurrence of plant disease epidemic indicates that one or more of the following conditions. First, the pathogen is highly virulent or has a high inoculum density. Second, the soil environment. Okay, the soil environment itself or climatic conditions are more favorable for the pathogen than for the host. Okay, and thirdly, the host plant itself is genetically homogeneous, highly susceptible, and continuously or extensively grown in a field or broader area. And also, finally here, there are no biological organisms capable of reducing the pest pathogen, the pest population of the pathogen here. All these factors, when they put together can cause disease to the plant or the crop. So therefore, for this topic, we will discuss on this biological symbiosis of certain organisms in the soil that can help plants or crops to fight or protect them against diseases. So, the biocontrol of plant occurs when the inoculum of a pathogen or its ability to produce disease in a plant is reduced, especially in this context by other biological organisms. These biological organisms that can control the pathogen in the soil is called as the antagonist. Okay, don't get confused. In a movie, an antagonist is the bad guy, but in the soil scientists, the soil ecologists use antagonists as a good guys. Okay, they are the good guys for the plant, they are the good guys for the environment, they are the good guys for us. They are the antagonists for the pathogens. So there are three recognized mechanisms whereby antagonists can reduce the inoculum or activity of these pathogens. So first is the antibiosis. So this antibiosis, okay, where the antagonist produces substances that inhibit the activity of the pathogen or cause its death. So these products can include lytic agents that break apart the pathogen cells, the enzymes, the volatile compounds, the antibiotics, and other toxic substances. Next is the competition, uh, where the antagonist reduces the pathogen's activities by successfully uh, to uh, competing to the pathogens and using resources needed for the pathogen to grow. Okay, not only that, they put all the resources, they take all the resources for the to make sure that the pathogen cannot reproduce and also survive. So this may include organic and inorganic nutrients, energy, growth factors, oxygen, and space. So, and then finally, the hyperparasitisms. So, where the antagonist invades the pathogen by secreting enzymes such as chitinase, cellulase, glucanase, and other lytic enzymes. So, they are directly, the antagonists are directly infect or affect the pathogens. Uh, the initial objective of biological control is to maintain a population of resident antagonists that will be able to suppress the disease organisms. So, due to crop or soil management practices, some soil processes microorganisms and fauna that coexist with the pathogen and the crop. So, their influence is observed in pathogen suppressive soils, which could have the following characteristics. So, the pathogen does not establish or persist. Second, the pathogen establishes but causes little or no damage, or the pathogen itself causes diseases but the disease is not severe even when the pathogen persists in the soil. While the development of soil suppression remains poorly understood, the basic principle is that disease incidence and severity is lower in suppressive soils than in the conducive soils due to a combination of soil conditions and biotic interactions between resident antagonists and pathogenic organisms that are detrimental to the pathogen. So, the agriculture practices described before between resident antagonists and solvent pathogens lead to the partial suppression of the pathogen population. Okay, so you can pause this video and read how producers or farmers or the agriculture practices, okay, can be manipulated that favor pathogen suppressions. This include collecting certain cultivars, using certain cultivars, crop rotations, a fallow period can be recommended. A compost here can be applied also to increase the soil food web that capable of pathogen suppression. Tillage also accelerates decomposition but can reduce pathogen that in the overwinter in crop residues. Lime also can be added, and also you can use soil treatment with steam, biocides, and solarization. This is one of them. You can pause the video here. You can pause and then you can read, and also you can try and find this book that explain in details about the agricultural practices that promote soil suppressions of pathogens.